Hey y'all, and welcome back to Her Rosy podcast. So, if you can see my shorts, I'm so sorry. So this is a new branch for me. It's a new little thing I'm trying out. I think I'm gonna name it Arden's Corner, and really, this is gonna be more candid thoughts, my opinions no one asked for. Really, just so you can get to know me a little better, and it's a little bit more personal, more close vibes. So I'm someone who gets annoyed by a lot of things. I'm just kidding, not really. But there have been some things that have been getting on my nerves recently, and I thought that I would share them with you and share my thoughts and opinions again that literally nobody asked for. So today's episode is going to be things that have been annoying me. And I have my handy dandy list, don't you worry. All right, the first thing is growing up, more specifically, growing up in Christmas as an adult. So this one is weird because I've been dealing with like things in my personal life that have been reasons why Christmas has not been like the same as it was as a kid, and I am not someone who was good with change, child. That's not my that I mean literally I'll change like my in school, like changing my mechanical pencil from the pink one to the green one, like it was never gonna end well. So besides the element of change, just growing up, I realized how capital, like this holiday, like despite your religion, everyone kind of celebrates like the festivities, the holidays. And I mean, I'm Christian. And so I just, and obviously as a kid, I wasn't just like, no gifts, just Jesus. Like this would be for real. But I never realized how insanely like capitalistic and gross, like I feel like, especially because of my job, is to sell things to people, and not this job. I don't get any money from this. Don't get it twisted. My job is to sell, and it just makes me think about how absolutely insane the capitalism is popping off during this time of year. Like every corner I took, like, why did I have a heartfelt Publix ad? You sell food. Like it just really genuinely confuses me to the point of like, oh, this is adulthood, like being sold a bunch of shit that you don't need, and like happy holidays. And also in that same regard, thinking about how like it genuinely is a scam a lot of the ways. Like Black Friday, can we talk about Black Friday being, i i I used to not be allowed to go out shopping on Black Friday. Like I literally genuinely used to not be allowed. And now all of a sudden we like, it's just so weird to me that kids these days will never understand the deals, because people are like, oh, Black Friday is just like regular sales, like it'll be like 10% off. Like you can do that just by giving them your selling them your soul and your email and your phone number. Like you can get 10% off easy. But back in the day it was like 50% off, 60% off, and it would be worth a soul. I'm just being real. Like that was what it was worth. Now it's absolute trash. It's not worth getting up, let alone getting hurt over. So it's just so many things have been clicking to where I'm just like, oh, like I don't know if it was the fantasy and the innocence of being young, and I'm just like my eyes are being opened, or if things have changed. But either way, it's just bull. Like I'm not I'm not pleased. Like I'm trying to get in the holiday spirit. I gotta do my own little, I was about to say rituals, but how you gonna take that? Like, watching Christmas movies and drinking hot cocoa, and like really trying to drill that spirit into me, because it hasn't been popping off. So holidays, this is a pivot, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the first one. This one was more pop culture. Another thing that's been annoying me is billionaires. Okay. From we will not look at it from a I'm bitter perspective, because yeah, obviously I would love to have $1 billion. But ethically speaking, obviously we know that billionaires That you cannot ethically become a billionaire. We know this. But it's not even just that in the moment. It's just been like you can obsess, you can acknowledge that billionaires are unethical and still keep it pushing, but it's the people who will fight for their lives for these people. And I'm just like, do you not understand that they, like, okay, they would watch you bleed out in the street, and like that's just being honest, and that is okay. They don't know you, you don't know them. Why are you fighting for your life? So one thing that that really got me is about Taylor Swift, child. So I always have to preface this because the Swifties are insane, but I love Taylor. Taylor the pop star. Okay, I don't know her as a person. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Taylor the pop star, I love. I went to 1989, Reputation, Airs. I feel like I say this literally every episode. I'm like, please, please, please. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Um, but yeah, but I'm a human being who can think critically, especially about someone who has more money that I would encounter in like 9 lifetimes. So I recognize that when I see like her private plane emissions, I'm like, oh, like, did we really have to go from New York at night to fuck Travis in the morning in Kansas City and then come back? Like, probably not, you know? And like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And, of course, I think she was the number one celebrity, allegedly. I don't know. Don't sue me. Of carbon emissions one year or something like that. The girl's heating up our planet for sure. And again, I recognize this. I see her as an entity of like, okay, clearly not a perfect person, not the Messiah. I'm gonna listen to your music. I'm gonna jam out, and I'm gonna just side eye you a bit, right? Normal response. Her obsessive fans are. I literally saw on Twitter. I think it was someone was like, "Well, I'm gonna ride my bike so that I can." I'm gonna ride my bike so that Taylor can take her plane because mother deserves it. And like dead ass. Like 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 dead ass. Okay. Um okay. First of all, do we need to explain how that isn't like what that means? And then on top of that, it's just like, even if that were to be a solution, your little bike versus a plane, why would you do that for her? Like, what is it? Why? I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm not. I just I just feel like stan culture and the mania is getting just like a tad bit out of hand, because it's like you can love her, you can appreciate you can even defend her to an extent of like if people are dogpiling. Like, I mean, she definitely is a climate criminal, so sometimes a little bit of dogpiling is valid, is fair, but like that's anyone, everybody, no one is immune to criticism, especially when you're doing something arguably wrong. And no one's saying cancel Taylor Swift, da 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 da. I mean, I'm sure some people are, but they're definitely not the masses. So it's just like, just chill out. Be like, you know what? Mother is a climate criminal, and that's disappointing. Go stream 1989 Taylor's version. It's that simple, It's that simple. Another person who I'm not a fan of, so I don't have to preface it all, is Kim Kardashian. And Kimberly recently, I'm not even going to get into all that, but let's just say people are boycotting Starbucks. If you know, you know, okay? And I'm one of those people. A lot of people are doing it. And what's interesting is now, if you look up Kim Kardashian Starbucks, like, yeah, she probably got caught lacking a couple of times, leaving Starbucks, whatever. But I don't think people realize how calculated the Kardashians are and to what extent. And so nothing, like, rarely anything that we see these people doing is not calculated. allegedly. I don't know. I don't even know if I have to say that. Like, it's an opinion, whatever. But like every single thing, and like I could do a whole video on just them. Like, it is so calculated. Like, oh, I've been trying not to say like so much, and I feel like I've been saying it a lot. Anyway, besides the point, Kimberly Kardashian is a very calculated woman, and she's all about the money. Get your fucking ass up and work. And it's like nobody wants to work these days. So yeah, we all know how. And she's like doing private equity. Like, she's just gone straight like villain. Like, people really think she's the same as Keeping Up with the Like, that woman is gone. Like Ivanka Trump, Jeffrey Bezos. Be for real. Anyway, I have ADD, if you didn't know, so like I'm super off topic, and like you're just gonna vibe. Anyway, so she's, again, my point was, if you see Kimberly on a pap walk, just like after, Bianca was caught holding Chicago, shine, um, Kim and Kanye's daughter, and everyone's like, oh my God, Bianca's so good with the kids. And then I saw a video of Kim walking into North's basketball game holding Chicago. She picked her up when she started walking, put her down immediately when they got inside. And I was just like, did you really just, and like the walk was like maybe 5 steps. So I was like, did you really just do that so you had a picture of you holding your dog? I'm like, and I know it sounds crazy. But I'm kind of deep in the Kardashian Reddit lore, and like I kind of feel like that's why she did it. But anyway, my point is, she was seen walking out of Starbucks with a Starbucks cup. And if you had looked at Starbucks's, I think it's stocks, like what's the thing that like shows if they're doing well or not? I'm so sorry. I am not a business person, whatever. So it was like stocks, and something went down. And all of a sudden we see Kim K walking out of Starbucks sipping on her cup. It's not coincidental. So, just my point is just, wherever you stand on a certain situation, if most of these billionaires are going to go against your personal ethics. So it just makes me wonder, what is with the mania and like I'll give Kimberly all my money for the skim sale. Like, I won't. Like, the fuck? So, just keep that in mind. Okay, another thing that has been grinding my gears to absolutely, like, the most extreme extent. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but okay. Breakups instead of breaks. Okay, let me say it again. Breakups instead of breaks, Lord Jesus. Okay. If you are someone who is trying to date nowadays, this day and age, okay, and you're hanging out with a guy, kikiing, oh my God, I love him, and you ask him if he got an ex, pack it up. Yeah, pack it up. It's going nowhere, Bookie. It don't matter if he cheated on her, if she cheated on him with his homeboy. It don't matter if they had a kid and he said he didn't want to be involved in their life. It don't matter if he moved across the country. It don't matter if he in jail. They will get back together. Yeah. And I think that I've had so many situations where that's happened, where I'm just like, especially when you're dating like older in life, like I don't have an ex. Isn't that crazy? Like, can you believe it? I don't have an ex, like a technical ex. Like, not one that I'm just like, oh, the one that got away. Or like the one that's always blowing up my phone when I post a thirst trap and like, but we're not together. Like, none of that. And I feel like a lot of people develop that pretty young, like around high school, early college, whatever. So they have that to fall back on. And I don't. So I'm like, perfect and pure. And so I'm just like, I'm such a nice person to date. Like, you're never gonna have to worry about me spinning the block. But I gotta worry about you. And I think a lot of this stuff would be avoided if I say our because I'm assuming you're my age, but like my generation would just learn how to be alone. Like, you are okay. And I think people will get into a fight, get into an argument. And instead of being like, okay, we are not seeing eye to eye, let's not break up. Let's just go on a break. Let's just heal on our individual ends. Maybe go to some individual therapy. Maybe do some self-reflection. Reconvene at the end of the week. No, no, no. That would be logical. We got to break up, post thirst trap, quotes that we're not going to read, get on Tinder, talk to a bunch of people, go on a date, fuck them, get an ex text, leave them, go back to the ex, and do it all again next month. I don't know about you, not personally the plot that I want to live out, but so many of y'all do. And it really fascinates me. It does. And there would be so many those girls that are just like on TikTok, all these names never got. I'm sorry, was that good? But no, it would just like those girls that are like feel so horrible about themselves. Like, what did I not have that she did? Like, girl, like it wasn't that. It was just that they never broke up. Like, they just don't know how to have an argument as a couple. They just don't know how to fight. And then, for the girls who don't stand on business, well, I got something else for you later. But yeah, moral of the story is let's try breaks. Let's try, oh, we're fighting right now. Let's try, just give me a little space and we'll reconvene. Let's try that before we break up and go ahead and ruin the next person's life, knowing that we know where home is. Okay, let's try that. This one is a lovely, lovely one. Okay, the call is coming from inside the house. Okay, colorism. Okay, specifically black men who are colorist. I have been seeing so many TikToks recently about black men. And don't get it twisted, these men are dark as charcoal. Like, in the night, you just see in eyes. Like, that dark. Okay? And I'm dark myself, so I can say this. And also, they're assholes, so I can say this. And for some reason, they feel the need to speak on dark-skinned women and their desirability and their dateability. And I find that very interesting because your mama dark, you dark. Where did we go wrong? Like, why do you hate yourself so much to where you feel the need to put down? And there was like, oh my God, I wish I could pull up the video. He was like talking to this like brown skinned girl. Also, I hate the rhetoric of like light skin, dark skin, brown skin. I only do it because y'all ghetto trifling people make me, because people won't know what I'm talking about. But I find it so stupid. But anyway, like, you black. Like, what did he say? Oh, I guess I can't say the N-word on this, but, what did Jay-Z say in that one song? Okay, thank you. So, they're going on, and he's like, oh, just dark-skinned women, they just don't be hitting. They just don't be hitting the same. Like, they don't look good. They're not, like, feminine. They aggressive. What? First of all, you're ugly. Like, I can't even like make fun of you and be like, oh, you buck too. Like, no, you just straight ugly. And like, when I don't gotta find individual flaws and just call you straight up ugly, like, that's how you know it's bad. I ain't even gotta look that far. You just ugly, like, straight across the board. Okay? So that was interesting to me. And it just made me think, why are y'all so pressed? Like, why are you so obsessed with us? It's like the self-hate. It's like you're telling on yourself. Like, if you hate yourself and you want to have some biracial kids and you want to feel like you won because Sally picked you, that is fine. Keep it private. Keep the self-hate shit private, because you're telling on yourself. You're telling on yourself. Like, you really are. And so I just think it's the best option for you to kind of be silent when it comes to racial tone matters, and date who you want to date. And who's to say that you won't? Well, no, it's giving, you're gonna have to get what you get, and you don't picture fit. And again, that has nothing to do with me. But leave my sisters out of it, because I promise you ain't ever gonna worry about us blowing up your phone. It's just delusional to think that way. So let's not. This next one, oh lordy, the thing that's annoying me is the natural hair warriors. I'm sorry. Okay, now I have a history with natural hair, and if you knew me in high school and before, no, you didn't. But I was a raccoon for sure, and I wouldn't go that far. I wasn't. I was just very much didn't have an identity, and I was around a lot of white people, and I just kind of succumbed to their culture and their thing. But the problem is, a lot of that doesn't apply for me. So, like, socially, things that I would do or whatever, it wouldn't work. Okay. And one thing I did was straighten my hair all the time. Since I was a kid, my mom, had my hair appointments. And straight hair does not mean you're whitewashed by any means. But because I had been straightening my hair and I was around a lot of white people, like, I wouldn't have dared to wear my curly hair to school, and I wouldn't have even known what to do with it. And then 2020 came along and genuinely traumatized me, and I'm sure, like, literally the whole country, in ways that, like, I always wondered what like who I would be if 2020 didn't happen, like, genuinely. And I think in a lot of ways it was really good because it catapulted me out of that world, and I realized, like, I am not a side character, like, and that is what I succumbed to in that world. I really thought that I was just the funny black friend with nothing to offer, watching her blonde white bestie achieve everything she wanted in life. I genuinely thought that was my place in life, and I think that 2020, amongst a lot of other revelations that I don't even need to get into at the moment, helped me with that. On the same end, it was a fucking traumatizing year, and that trauma led me to go completely to the other side of the spectrum, and I said, "This, that, nappy," okay? I went full natural, which I don't regret. I think it was an amazing experience working with my natural hair. I finally, like, I had so much heat damage. I learned how to do it. My future daughter will look so freaking cute because I didn't learn any of that growing up. And I absolutely love it. And I wore my natural hair in college, and my college is very, like, bust down lace front BBL fashion. So nope, I wasn't super popular. But I still did it because it was something that I wanted to own and something that I wanted to be proud of, and I thought that it represented me, which it did. It's my hair, it's my head, right? Fast forward to now. I got, like, my first sew-in, like, a couple months ago. Right now my hair is just natural, but it's straightened. And I realized, after getting the protective styles and the sew-ins and this and that, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And there's nothing wrong with straightening my hair. I really thought that I was a sellout for straightening my hair after 2020. And what I realized is a lot of the things that happened then, I realized that, no, that's not me. It's because of my circumstance and what was happening, is as to why I'm feeling this way. But then on the other hand, a lot of the things, yeah, they were me. And I like when my hair is straight and I get to whip it around. And if that makes me whitewashed, like, I don't know what to tell you. But it's not even that. It's just I love my curly hair. I love when my hair is straight. I don't mind a weave. Love a protective style. Like, all of it is great. And I think that my natural hair was really starting to stress me out, and, like, and I could turn around and wear my hair natural tomorrow. Like, it really doesn't matter. But I think that the stress and the guilt of, like, applying heat to your hair and how dare you, it's just so exhausting. And as a black women get so much heat for every single thing we do. Like, just add another one to the list. Like, okay, we can't touch our hair because then we don't love ourselves. Thank you. Great. Like, it's just so, like, such a laundry list of things that we can and can't do and what they mean and how you're perceived, and I'm just sick of it. So if you're a natural hair warrior, good for you. Keep your curls to yourself. They look beautiful, sis, but leave me alone. Okay, another one is, at the risk of sounding like Matt Rife, which God knows is my worst fear. Another thing that has been annoying me is dumb cancellations. Now, let me clarify. When I say dumb cancellations, I don't mean people who've committed crimes, racist people, homophobic people, like all of the arguably awful people who are getting canceled and who are being held accountable. I'm not talking about them. However, I am talking about, say, I don't have a specific instance right off the top of my head, but say like on TikTok, you have these girls and they're like doing a vlog and they're kikiing in their living room and they're like making jokes about other girls, right? Like, she's such a slut and da 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 because like they hate the girl, right? And the comments are like, what happened to being a girl's girl? Why would you talk about a girl like that? You must hate yourself and da da da. Sure, it was nasty, right? But you do it too. Like, don't tell me that you don't talk shit about people. Like, and that's not even like a character thing. Like, just gossip. Like, it's just gossip and talking. Like, everyone does it. I'm sure people have talked shit about me. Like, it's just a normal thing to do in life. And I just find it so fascinating that because you're in somebody's comment section, all of a sudden you are on the highest horse in mankind to where, like, you are getting mad at someone for, like, what? Like, it's just literally just, like, leak your group chat messages. Leak the group chat. And see how many comments will be under your page. So, like, obviously, what you do in private should reflect who you are, and like those people who like are secretly like freaking racist behind the scenes. Like, obviously, no, like, you're shitty. But if it's like you're just kikiing and laughing, like, sometimes we say mean stuff, and like it's just like with your friends, and it's not hurting anybody. It's just like jokes and laughter, and to act like you don't do the same is absurd. Like, everyone has a kiki every now and again, and as long as they're not bullying anybody or trashing anybody, like in this instant I would mean like girls, like not specifically naming someone, just speaking about a girl and then being like, oh, you're slut shaming, or like, wow, how we don't call women sluts anymore, like we call each other that. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just like, chill out, okay? I feel like you can only come for someone if you know that you don't do it yourself, okay? Like, when I see TikToks of people leaving the cart in the parking lot, I can judge because I'm a cart put backer. My best friend, she has no business in being in the comment section of a cart video because she has never put the cart back in her life. Okay, so if she were to ever comment and be like, this is human decency, like, that's so rude. What? Read the comment, flip it around, put it in your diary, get it in your skull, because Buki, you the same. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. The second to last, okay, we're wrapping it up, is the pasta and lobster, you like how I said that? The pasta and lobster epidemic, okay? Now listen, I just told you I grew up with a lot of white people. I don't mind a white boy, okay? I find a lot of them to be very attractive. However, I don't like a white boy because he's white. It's just he happens to be attractive to me. Okay, are we following? Right, good. For some reason, on TikTok, you see women commenting, I just want a pasta and lobster. What? I thought that we just thought like, oh, he's fine. I didn't know like the whiteness was the criteria. Okay, that's scary. Now, I hate to remind my sisters what they did to y'all with them they trapped you when they said, "Oh, I like black women," or "Oh, I like some goddess locks," and you go to the followings and ain't nobody darker than Zendaya. What do we do then? We was hurt. So stop putting these men on a pedestal. I beg of you. And this goes for anything, but specifically the pasta and lobster has been annoying me because, like, stand up. Like, why are you going so hard for someone who's not going hard for you? It's weird. But, like, goes for any, like, oh, dreads or this and that. Like, don't go so hard, at least publicly, for someone who is not going like that for you. And if they are, like, I'm sorry, most of the time they're doing it for clout. Because if you like black women, we're not like a species. We're not like a special exception. Like, if a black woman is fine, she's fine. If an Asian woman's fine, she's fine. Like, if you got eyes, like, good for you. And for a man to go out of his way to make a video talking about how he's attracted to black women, and then the black women up in his comments talking about, oh, what's your number? What's your name? I need a pasta lobster, and gets a lot of engagement. Like, of course he's going to keep doing it. And then you're going to be sad when you see him at Seaside with Becky. So it's just, like, weird to me how you, like, people will go to bat, go to war for these guys, but then, like, be upset that they're not really, like, that into you later. And, like, totally white guys like black girls like white guys. Some black girls don't like white guys. Some white guys don't like black girls. Whatever. But let's just not fetishize it to the point where it's just like, oh, I just want a pasta lobster. Like, what, logistically, what will that do for you? Like, genuinely, what are you getting from it? Because it's just a person. It's just a man. It's just a man. Okay? So let's keep it cute. Keep it calm. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But, you know, don't show all your cards. Okay? Finally, the last thing that has been grinding my little gears are women and men, people not standing on business. You're not standing on business. And it hurts me. It does. Because back to what we were saying about breakups and, like, learning to discern what is a fight and what is a breakup. A lot of times it's just an argument. But if they actually did do you dirty and some people are just like, yeah, he don't, like Khloe Kardashian. She knows Tristan don't mess with her. I mean, if she doesn't, that's really sad. But, like, clearly, he has shown many times he don't want to be with you in any kind of capacity, except for, you know, taking your money and living in your house. But some people know, okay, that they are being used, right? And you're over it. But you know, you have a little bit of weakness like everybody else. And you're like, okay, I still very much love this person, but I know that they don't care about me or respect me or love me or anything of the sorts. So I'm going to step away. And then the stepping away turns into stepping into his bed. And that is when things get annoying. Because it's like, how many times does someone need to tell you they don't want you before you walk away? And obviously he's going to tell you he wants you in his bed, like, be for real. But then when you get out of it, what happens? He turns over and he starts playing Fortnite. And that is when you really have to reevaluate what you are doing. So yeah, it pains me to see my sisters not standing on business, because if he really was the one, you wouldn't have to stand on business. Like, I just find it so interesting that people really genuinely believe this is part of it. Like, love is a game, love is war, love is fight. Like, it's just not. It's just not. Like, it's a really simple thing. There's hardships, there's ups and downs, but once you get past, you know, those little beginning phases of questioning if you like someone and if they want to be with you, once you get to the solidified part of the relationship, there shouldn't be deep questioning that you can't discuss. Like, if you're subtweeting him and posting thirst traps, hoping he'll see it and playing all those games, he's not your man or your girl or whatever. Okay? So it is in your best interest to stand on business because, and not for him to come back. I'm just saying him in the scenario. Not for them to come back, right? Because they don't need to be back. When they come back, best believe they're going to do it again. So just stand on it and love yourself enough to do that. And I know it's not easy because I'm on a high horse. Trust and believe I have been there. But I think that, like, for me, who I am as a person, I just need to be dogged one good time, like one great time, like one that's like unequivocally like, oh, okay. And I'm gonna really try to avoid that type of person going forward. And I think when I'm done, I'm done. And I think that a lot of women, like, how I became done was taking the time, the no contact time. Because it wasn't no contact for, oh, like he's going to come back and change. The no contact was giving me time to think. And the most dangerous thing you can do is give a woman time to think. And I thought and thought and thought, and I reminisced, and I was like, oh, these are not great memories. It's not giving what it's supposed to. And the more I thought, and the more I realized, and then sooner you know it, we hadn't talked, and I was already moving on to bigger and better things because I deserved better. There's always something better, I promise you. And I know a lot of women or people are sitting there thinking, well, this is all I got. This is the best I got. Like, I got to fight for it. No. Either you got to be single for a little bit and you got to be alone and deal with yourself and work on yourself, which is great, or you have someone lined up waiting for you right when you step out the door. But regardless, the person that you with, it ain't them. It ain't them. Okay? So stand on business. Try it sometime. I think you'll like it. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this episode and kind of tried something new today. Let me know how you like it. Make sure you check out this post on the site, herrosyworld.com. You can read more about my thoughts and check out the other articles on the site. Follow us on social media. And yeah, love y'all. Bye.